What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Camp Staff Podcast. I'm your host, Zach. Also here with your host, David. How are you doing, David?
Pretty swell.
Pretty swaggy.
Oh goodness. I guess swell and swaggy go together.
All right, they both start with an S. You know what also starts with an S?
What starts with an S, Zach?
Austin Minnick, our co-host.
I don't think it does,
I
but yeah.
don't think that starts with an S.
Well, there's another word that starts with an S that goes pretty well with Austin, so I can't really say
Wow.
it on the podcast, but you guys know what the word is.
Super awesome.
Yeah, super awesome.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Yeah,
I'd like to
Hey.
introduce our guest. Our desk.
Our desk.
Our
Just
desk.
Justin.
Just
Just
Justin.
Well,
Justin.
Thank
Our
you
guest
for the wonderful
is Justin.
introduction. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, even though this is like our fifth try at doing this now.
Shh, they can't know. They can't know.
This is the first try. What are you talking about?
First
What-
try.
We always do it first try.
I'd like to everyone know that we were supposed to start this at 9:30 and it's currently 12 o'clock. Just want to make sure everyone knows this, what I've been dealing with for the past 2
That was
hours
David's
almost.
fault.
Is it my fault though?
Yes.
Absolutely. But
We were playing.
Talking
COD
about
waiting
completely
for
your
you.
fault. The coronavirus, David.
we're gonna blame that on me, huh?
So
Put that one down on me. My
summer-
bad, guys.
Most summer camps
Bad.
so far probably have pushed back their summer camp program to July, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Or in a certain case, the camp that we all work at, they're doing this thing called a virtual summer camp, where it's like online school mixed with having fun Boy Scout adventures, right? You guys.
Uh-huh.
understand?
Mm-hmm.
So we basically we have to do everything online now, and most of the merit badges are getting canceled. We're also adding some merit badges, like we might do the disability awareness merit badge, or a different merit badge. That's the only one that was in my head that we don't teach at our camp. And it's a pretty interesting idea. What are you guys' thoughts on the online classes?
I think it's a great opportunity to provide for scouts. There's obviously going to be some logistic issues that pop up with certain classes, but I think it's a good idea. And I think if done properly, I think will provide unparalleled experiences for more youth across the nation.
I think the teachers should be able. I think us as like the counselors should be able to be at the camp while we're teaching the classes.
Well, we
It'll
don't
be
know
Especially when
that
I
yet.
can wait from home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eh,
honestly,
there's
that's a
other
terrible
reasons,
idea
too.
because if you're at camp trying to teach something, like you deal with internet issues, right? And if
Well,
we're
we have good
having,
internet.
huh?
They just upgraded the internet in camp last year.
Yeah, they've
Well,
upgraded the past 5 years.
We
and
were
it still hasn't
playing.
gotten
We were
better.
playing Battlefield in native.
Well, if you work in the area that I work at, we're right next to both routers, but still we don't get any Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's not as great as you think. Just because they upgraded to fiber optics, it doesn't mean they have the greatest
Well,
stability.
STEM and native area, we have pretty good Wi-Fi.
So I made the syllabus for the Pioneering Merit Badge for virtual, and as you know, the Pioneering Merit Badge is not tying. So for all the people who's listening to this don't know what pioneering is, it's not tying. Building structures with rope and sticks. And I made the syllabus for it. The challenge was, how am I going to teach the kids how to tie these knots on like a phone call, like a Discord FaceTime call?
Mm-hmm.
I found a way. It was the dumbest thing. It's going to sound stupid, but I found out it works.
What
You want to hear
Alright.
what it is?
Let's hear it.
So I want to buy a really cheap webcam. Okay.
Oh, no.
If it has 1080p, that's fine. If it's going to be a really cheap webcam, okay, and I'm going to duct tape it around my head, on my head. So it's going to be like a
Alright.
first-person shooter,
Zach,
but I'm going to be tying knots to the kids.
there's so
Wait,
many
Zach,
alternative
about that?
options.
What about
So-
that game that keeps popping up on like TikTok and stuff about untying knots? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my god, I can't untie this knot.
I can't
Yeah.
untie it.
So
It's just impossible.
so
It's
the
so stupid, and they're just like, it's the two ropes. And they're like, how do I untie this?
So David, the reason I know there's multiple options. Like I could just put a video up. Yeah, that's fun.
No
But
alternative options with just the camera alone. There's so many different options. You don't have to tape it to your head.
I want to show them a step-by-step process where they can see it.
Yeah, I
Like
think it's a very innovative.
it's
type
an
of thing.
interesting idea if you think
You
about
only
it.
got to do it once. It's the only
Yeah.
time you ever got to do it.
For,
I could-
we're doing 3 weeks of virtual camp.
Mhm.
Yeah, you gotta you
I'll
gotta
have to
do
do
what
it
you gotta
3
do. You know,
times.
archaeology. We're just gonna play Minecraft. All right,
Yeah.
and we're gonna dig and try to find things.
Mhm.
See how well that goes.
Archery, we
Right.
play Bowmasters.
All
Definitely.
right. So Justin,
Mhm.
you've worked at Native, I think, your entire summer camp experience,
for
if I'm correct.
all my 4 years except for winter camp, and even then I
Yes.
still work some there.
And what is your favorite merit badge that you teach at this camp?
That'd be wilderness survival. I've taught it for 4 years in a row, and I wish to continue teaching it. It's
What
a
is your
very
favorite
enjoyable merit badge.
What is your favorite part about this merit badge? That merit badge.
Watching the kids build the structures, as I just sit there and watch them, because half the time they build the ugliest looking things in the world, but it's the funniest thing to watch them try to sleep in.
Yep. I can relate to that when I was watching kids do that. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. These kids were just this kid was trying to build like an apartment with all these
Oh,
and
I
it,
had
it looked they
I
built
had
like a
kids who
roof.
built. Oh god, I had kids who literally built something called Chad Mansion. And it was, I was so proud of them, and it made the biggest freaking monstrosity I've ever seen. But it held together. It went through a storm, and literally every kid in the group was named Chad. And I had Chad 1, Chad 2, Chad 3, Chad 4, and Chad 5. And if I
Yeah.
had to call them whenever I had to ask questions,
Did
to
they
them.
have like really nice jaw lines? And were they over 6
Oh, they
foot
all
they
tall,
look
ripped?
blonde hair,
exactly
blue
the
eyes?
same. No, everything but being ripped was what they were.
Brunette or blonde with rather blue or brown eyes.
They were
It's
all
so
blonde.
vague,
I don't remember
Austin.
them
You do
exactly.
autism.
I don't remember children that deftly. I don't know how you teach, but I don't remember their.
I don't
Remember them that well.
any
I
of
only
my
remember
students.
certain kids in my classes, like kids
Yeah.
that burn other kids in cooking.
Thanks,
Only if they
Jacoby.
make an impact. Otherwise, I'm not gonna remember your name. Sorry.
It's all right. They'll understand. It just
All of them
it comes
understand.
back to me after like
Yeah,
30
once you see
minutes.
him in person again.
So I only remember like a few. I remember one
Yep.
kid. He threatened to kill me in my sleep. So there. Do you know how we get young Marines at our camp?
Yes.
Like it's
Yeah.
a program. They come in from
Everywhere.
Texas, I think. Yeah,
No, they
Everywhere.
come from everywhere in Florida.
gotcha.
Yeah, they come from
So I don't know
everywhere.
where they come from. Anyways, let's just call him Logan. I
Okay.
don't really know his name. Just imagine a short Hispanic fella, and he looks super ripped. Like he's just a super ripped man, right? But he was 17, and he was in the Young Marines. And then all I asked him to do was not twist all the things around. Gabriel, do not do that. Oh my goodness. So my brother just threw a flip-flop at my ceiling trying to kill this one palmetto bug that we get in Florida in our houses, and he missed. Let me
Nice.
continue with the story. So he threatened
Yes, we
to
are
kill me.
waiting for your story.
Can you
Gabriel,
continue with your
please
story?
stop. He's he's gonna make a loud slapping noise. So let's just get it over with. Go, Gabe.
Okay.
Now that okay.
Oh my god.
Gabe.
He's already going
Exhilarating content.
So,
It went from
David.
flip flop to cat puke.
Yes, let me continue. So this young Marine was throwing his arrows into the sand and using them like as swords. The 17-year-old Hispanic-looking like buff dude, and then I tell him, "Hey man, please don't do that." Right? 5 minutes later, he does it again. I asked him to please sit out this round. Right? I was like, "Hey man, please just sit out. Just stop doing that." And he was just like, "I'm not gonna listen to your scrub self." There's something along the lines of that. And then he was like, "I know where you sleep. I can easily take a knife to your throat." I was like, "Listen, get off my range. One, I'm gonna have a word with your like leader or whatever, because I didn't know the correct like terminology. I didn't want to be disrespectful by calling him like an officer when he's like a lance corporal or something. I don't know. I don't know
That matters
military
at that
terms,
point in time.
right?
Yeah, some
He
kid just
obviously had
threatened you with a
issues.
knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So Justin, did you have any experiences like that before at camp where someone threatened you?
Being threatened to be killed? I would have to say no. I have
Yeah.
never gotten a bad
Yeah.
report.
Yeah, me
Only
neither.
no, sorry, I've only been given one bad report, and that's because I told a kid no, he couldn't use the bathroom after he just walked from a bathroom.
Yep.
That's my only bad thing. And then my report, it was teacher is mean.
Justin's
a
really
jerk.
hard to intimidate, and Justin's really hard to threaten.
Yeah. He throws
I've done a
chairs
lot in
at
my
kids.
class.
He
Well,
has.
listen, if
He
you want
also-
to get into chairs, should we start from the beginning?
So also,
Oh,
Justin
man.
also gets in the chairs. You know, he
Yeah,
he
I sit
treats
in
the
them.
staff members in a special way with chairs.
Well,
You can take the stage, Justin, with that.
Oh, you want me to take the chair or the stage? One of the two.
Throw the chair at
What-
the stage.
Why
Yeah,
not
there
both?
we go.
All
Throw
right.
the chair at the stage.
So, back at winter camp, like 2 years ago, I was the one that had to be in charge of all the wonderful staff and CIT members for winter camp because I was the oldest one there. And I walk in and I see a ceiling tile on the ground and a soccer ball next to it. And I'm like, all right, this is day one. I want to get this over with. I don't want these dummies breaking more stuff. So I look at her and go, hey guys, who kicked the soccer ball into the ceiling? No one says anything. And I was like, okay, we're going to get this over with quickly. Either someone tell me who it is or everyone's getting hit with a chair. I just found a random metal chair on the ground and I just picked it up. And instinctively, everyone just looked and pointed to Maxwell Gregg. He's okay with this. I've told everyone this story and he knows and he just wants people to know that he's been blamed first. So after that, I found out that it wasn't just Max Gregg, because after that he started ratting out everyone left, right, and center, going, "No, it was him, 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 him." And I was like, "Okay, I don't care. What I want to know, I want all you kids just line up." And I just whacked them all in the arm. I had one of the kids who was like, "I could go tell him. I don't care."
Oh no.
The next day, he like did it in front of me, and he went to go, "Mark, look what is my arm," and he showed it to him, and there was no mark on his arm, but yet his arm hurt. That's all I cared about. That's all that mattered, is that there was no mark, so I couldn't get in trouble.
Justin has a special talent where he can make people hurt, but also not leave a mark.
It's
It's an
amazing.
art
That's
form.
right.
One time,
only one-
Justin
the only
punched
one-
me in the arm so hard, like it went dead. But I checked the next morning, no bruise. I was like, okay, nice.
I've honestly gotten used to it. My body just like takes it. Just
That's
he's
just
done
because
so
you're in
much
the
stuff
area
at
and you annoy me.
That
I
came
know-
out wrong.
That came out real wrong. Sounds
The
like
only
some
bad
after
thing
hours stuff right
I
there.
was like, there was only one person that was immune to it, and it was Logan, because that man was built like a freight train, and nothing could hurt him.
You look like the
Indiana
mayor
Jones
from
Boulder.
Cloudy
Oh
Cloudy
my
with a Chance of
God.
Meatballs.
He was a big boy, and the only way I could actually damage him was actually putting some oomph into it. And I was like, oh, I don't think I can do this. And so now every time, random kids will just run up to me and go, hit him with a chair, hit him with a chair.
I have videos of you hitting random people with chairs in our area, in our back room.
Yeah, and
Oh, so another one for the chair. This was the same winter camp because this is where this all started. There was a kid from aquatics. that he was not the brightest, he was the dumbest staff member. And he was doing, we were at the very end giving the kids high fives for the ending show. And instead of doing high fives, he was doing like the dumb Hail Hitler sign. And I went over to him like, hey, stop being a. I called him a dummy head. That's the nice way of saying it for this channel. And so we talked to him like, hey, bud, you can't be doing that. I'm going to hit you with a chair later. Just going to be like everyone else. So you're fine. Just don't do it anymore, please. After the, we went back into the dining hall, served, and then he left early. I didn't really care. As I was walking back into the bunkhouse, all I hear in the room is, hurry, I have to put all these chairs outside so that way I don't get hit with one. And I walk in on him just putting chairs outside. He just looks me in the face and goes, no, no, please, I don't want to hit him with a chair. No, I'll report you. I'm going to tell them. I'm like, okay, kids, if you're going to get this upset over this, I won't mess with you. You're going to be a baby about it. Everyone else took it like a man. I'll leave you alone. Goodbye, bud. That was like my only kid who ever was like afraid and like was threatening me against it.
Yeah.
Why though?
It's a very good
Because
question.
When you would just randomly walk up to me and just like
Well,
grab.
you see, you worked in my area. I had to deal with
Yeah.
you a lot more often. These kids, I just didn't want them to break stuff and do random dumb things in front of campers.
We
Yeah.
like doing dumb things in our area.
Yeah, I know we like to do dumb things in our area. Trust me.
Austin is the definition of a dumb thing in that area.
Oh yes.
10 out of 10 joke.
Trust me, we've had dumber, way dumber.
No,
I don't know. That's pretty hard.
you're the one dumb thing that keeps coming back though.
Damn. Yeah, that might be one of
he
them.
left. He left the Discord call. My goodness.
Apologize. Apologize right now.
Why?
No.
This is going swell.
Co-host. God.
So,
Know your place.
Justin,
Yes.
do you have any weird experiences that you've had while you were working at camp?
Any certain area for winter camp, summer camp, native.
Let me
I worked a
narrow it
couple
down.
different areas as well for winter camp. I have plenty of stories for those.
Let's start with summer camp, and then we can switch to winter camp.
All right.
Yeah.
So for summer camp, you want to do a merit badge in the native at staff camp.
Let's want to start with staff camp, and then we can go switch to classes, and then let's start.
Okay,
What's the
so-
weirdest thing that's happened to you at staff camp?
So, to pick up on something you talked about the other day when you were talking with Alex on the podcast,
Yeah.
you brought up that you heard two people wrestling, break a window, and then continued to play Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear the actual story for that?
Yes. I would love to hear the
So-
actual story.
So,
Oh god.
it was me and an aquatics guy named Johnny. Me and him were good friends. This wasn't out of anger. This was out of just pure boredom and fun. So he'd been talking smack, going, "I can beat you up. I got you easy." I was like, "All right." This kid was pretty ripped, but he was like 5'5", but he has built up muscles and everything. But he was just shorter than me. It's like, "All right, I got this kid." So we started in the room, and then we tumbled into the hallway, and we were doing good until he pushed me against the glass and was like, Johnny, stop. Johnny. I was like, ah, crap, here we go. And all I heard was the shatter behind me, and I was like, oh, no.
I have a fun Johnny story.
And all I saw his face look at me and go, oh crap. I was like, yeah, now I've broken a window story.
So Johnny also had a short temper.
Oh, I loved playing with his temper so much. It was
Yes.
so much fun.
So one day, me and a few other staff members, we went to a Wendy's, and we just grabbed like a bag full of the plastic spoons there,
Mhm.
and then
Okay.
what we did is that we went back into the bunkhouse and we just laid all the plastic spoons on his bed. He got really pissed off at that.
Did you like put the spoons in like any specific pattern or lay them out nicely?
No,
or just...
we just
dumped
threw
them
it
on
all
there?
around on his bed.
Poor Johnny.
And then he
He's a
got
great
back
staff member.
he got back at me by squirting like body lotion all over my bed, making it look like he
Oh,
like
that
splurged all
no.
over it.
His body lotion was the whole reason why I couldn't wrestle him very well. Because every time I tried to get a grip, I would just loosen up, and it's like, oh, there's his body oil.
Yep.
At least after wrestling him, you felt super moisturized.
No, I felt disgusting.
It's like high school wrestlers.
Just grease.
It's literally what it felt like. It was just grease everywhere, and I did not enjoy it.
It was like a anything from Applebee's, basically.
Oh, I was. That could have gone a lot of.
Quesadilla
Zach.
burger.
Yeah, the quesadilla burger.
Oh,
It was
God.
nasty.
Quesadilla burger was just an ocean of grease.
Wait,
was.
hold on. Can I? Give me a visual of that.
The quesadilla burger.
So imagine a quesadilla, all right, and then they put a burger patty in the middle.
And they
It
don't
was-
drain any of the grease out of it either.
They
when
don't.
put it in.
Zach and I,
Actually
and
kinda nasty.
Oh, so
Two
it's
of
like
our-
Bubba Burger, like juice in the middle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
Austin and I
just
took a
leaking.
bite out of it, and then grease just engulfed my entire face.
Oh God.
So Zach and I.
so you guys were on one of those
went up
dinner
to
dates and
Jacksonville
just.
to go to Applebee's.
Yeah.
And we just to get quesadilla burgers, and they were disgusting. But we met a nice waitress named Donna. All right.
Beautiful, beautiful lady. also.
Okay.
We called her by her name, and
Don't put we in this.
and then
Did you
there
guys
was
tip
two
well?
others-
Did you guys tip well?
I
No.
did.
Well,
That's good.
the whole table we all did 20%.
Okay.
I tipped her like $8
Oh, I did 20%.
because you kept harassing her. So I tipped her $8. 'cause I
The
felt bad.
What a jerk.
one of our other
Right.
staff members was on FaceTime call, and as she was walking by, he was keep saying "Hi Donna, bye Donna" over the call.
Who was
Type of
that?
people that no one wants to see at the restaurant.
It was Spencer.
Oh, gotcha.
We had two of our female staff members there, and one of them FaceTimed her boyfriend, and it was just. I feel bad for Donna.
It was
As I was
beautiful.
Type of
walking
people
out,
that
I
no one
yelled,
wants to
"I
see at a
love you, Donna."
restaurant.
Yeah. Well, Austin
Oh, God.
started it. Every time he said her name, I just started laughing. But let's get back right on track to camp staff related topics.
God.
So,
Donna.
Justin,
Yes.
merit badges. You taught wilderness survival. What is the weirdest experience other than wind chimes? Well, you could talk about wind chimes also.
Oh my God.
What's your weirdest experience at camp? Or funny?
Back when I first, I have quite a few. Back when I first started, I had kids from my chapter who I went through winter survival with. No, that was a different weekend. That was OA weekend. Great start for that. I had a kid who slept inside of a wheelbarrow instead of his shelter because there was too many people inside the shelter, and so this kid was small enough to actually fit inside the wheelbarrow and sleep comfortably throughout the night. This wasn't like a big old one. This is like an old metal wheelbarrow, and he slept in it the entire night.
Interesting. Oh yes. Oh, I think those type of wheelbarrows. Oh my god.
Yeah, the camp wheelbarrows. And then
Really flimsy.
I had two kids who, after just a day of talking to me to know me, called me grandpa because they thought I was an old person. Because they were talking to me in some Fortnite talk, and I had no idea what they're talking about, and they just started calling me grandpa. And to this day, they work at camp and on our OA now, and they just still call me grandpa. And
Yeah.
their
They
dad
hit you
is
with
okay
the. They
with
hit
it.
you with the OK boomer before it was an actual thing.
Yes. Yes, that's the worst part. It was before the boomer thing started.
The OB,
then,
the original boomer.
Yeah, and then I had my dumb kids
Oh.
who I had in my chapter, and then La Flamme. They
Oh.
instead of building an actual shelter like I told them to, they instead of in the entire day built a freaking wind chime. And they called me over all proud, and I destroyed it in a matter of seconds. That took them the entire 2 hours they were building it because they pissed me off. My kids are the dumbest things that happened to me.
I like how you
And-
accept that they're yours, though.
And the
It's always my kids.
and the people that called him grandpa and the person that built the wind chimes worked winter camp this past winter and
Yeah.
just harassed Justin.
Oh yes, they found out who they both were, and they on their own. I just called up one, and then the other came up and like, hey, you took the class with this guy too? Yeah, I called him grandpa. I built wind chimes for him, and he hated it, and they became friends, and I don't like that. And now
Was
they
that the
just harass me
twins?
for it. It's the twins and LaFlamme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The twins call me grandpa. LaFlamme was the wind chime builder, and another kid from my chapter.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think that's all I got for those. Oh,
Oh.
I got two more.
You
I
do?
had a kid who day one thought he'd be a cool kid, walk over the pews at the chapel, and he slammed his head into another pew, and he wound up having a giant lump on his head, requiring him to go to the health lodge in the hospital the first day of camp. Came back the second day.
Elaborate. What?
So the pews, they are not very stable. They're the old like wooden ones, like little wooden benches. He
Yeah.
was hopping from one to one, and it wobbled. He slipped. His head slammed into another pew, forehead all, and he got up. I looked at him. I was like, "You're absolutely dumb. Why did you do that?" Like, I thought I was doing good. Am I okay? And all I see is a giant bump formed out of his forehead. I'm like, "Oh, hey, you get to go to the health lodge now, bud. Day one. How you feeling?" Like, I can't feel my forehead. I'm like, "Yeah, you got a more forehead than you started with." He just had an enormous bump on his head, and
Turned
was
it
just
into a
like,
5-head real quick.
oh my god. And then my last one, which I have to tell my kids every time, and the kid gave me a perfect story for it. I tell my kids there's red berries out there that they cannot eat. They're called choke berries or something, and they have cyanide in it. Cyanide is not good for you, obviously, but
Okay.
if the berries, not a lot, it requires a lot to eat, but eating a few makes you have diarrhea, and it hurts.
Oh.
So one of the days, my kids are like, he's lying. This guy doesn't know anything. So, what did he do? He proceeded to take some, eat them later at night, and then came back the next day. He looked at me and go, hey, Justin, you're right. I ate the choke berries, and I sat on the toilet for 2 hours, and it did not feel very good. And I'm like, yeah.
It's
yeah,
like
bud."
Eve going back to God in the Garden of Eden. Yeah, I ate the fruit from
Forbidden fruit.
Yeah, I just sat there and I was like, yeah, bud, how did that feel? He's like, my butthole was on fire. I was like, yeah, that's what happens when you have diarrhea, bud. Did you learn? He's
So
like,
what
yeah.
happens when you take a little bit of cyanide?
He's like, yeah, I learned. I won't do that anymore. Like, thank you.
You should have told him the diarrhea would stop if he ate more.
No, because you can actually get damage from it because it is cyanide in there.
Yeah.
I haven't sent a kid to the health lodge
Cyanide
for
has
something
never
that
hurt
I've
anyone.
done. They've only come to the health lodge for stuff they've done. I want to
Yeah.
make that clear.
Never.
Never damaged a kid.
So Justin, what
So
other
Zach,
areas have you worked in?
I've done adventure camp, ecology, scoutcraft, healthcraft, handicraft, rifle, archery, and I think that covers it. The only ones I haven't done: STEM, leadership, and trailblazers, and aquatic.
Yeah.
Those are it.
So
And
out of all those areas you just listed, other than native, which one would you not want to work at ever again?
it would have to be handicraft. Sorry, Max, but your merit badges are the absolute dumbest things in the world.
Pottery, music and
Oh,
bugling.
no. There was a merit badge that our wonderful camp director decided to introduce, and it was model building.
Oh, that one.
I've never built a model in my life. I had no idea what I was doing. Half the requirements were, oh yeah, build a space shuttle to proper size and shape. Build a house to the proper shape. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know where to do this. How do I build a space shuttle? So I literally told the kids, go dig in the trash, find cardboard, and build me a space shuttle. And they had to build all the little parts out of it, and it looked like the ugliest space shuttle ever. I had to make it work for 5 seconds, explain it to me, and I threw it right back in the trash.
Nice.
I
I
had a
feel like
kid
if you
in the
could throw it back into the trash, ask for something completely different to the next class, and it'd be just as bad.
No, it was only one class, and there were so many kids in there. It pissed me off. Have you guys had one of those kids that requires that you do every requirement in the merit badge?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Fiona
All
was
the
one of them.
time.
I had one of those kids in that class, and he beyond pissed me off. Because my second day, and I was like, guys, I don't know if we can build this model crap or whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. And he like pulled me aside. I was like, what do you mean? I'm here for the merit badge. We're getting the merit badge, right? Why are we not doing the whole merit badge? I'm like, bud, chill
Ooh.
out. Chill out. I'm figuring this out. If you keep pestering me, I'll make sure we don't do more than half the requirements. Chill out and sit down. He was just one of those kids that like always had a smart comment and always had to get the last word in, and he was pissing me off.
Yeah, he
So
was
one
trying to be
day,
funny, but nobody laughed.
oh yeah, so one of the days I just chucked a pine cone at him. I chuck a lot of things at kids that piss me off. I just chucked the pine cone at him, hit him in his shoulder, and he was fine. And he started going to me, I can report you and get you fired. You injured me. And I was like, technically, when you sign the form to come to summer camp, if you get injured, it is not on anyone's fault. You signed it saying you cannot sue us if you get injured here. I'm like, I didn't sign anything my mom did. So then you can't do anything about it, bud.
Exactly, you're a minor.
And I,
You can't be legally binded to any contract, you fool.
nope. And then he looked at the other kids like, oh, I have witnesses saying that you hit me with something. I looked at all those kids who were getting pissed off at him too, and I was like, hey kids, you see that pine cone fall from the tree? Everyone shook their heads yes, and he was done talking.
Very
Those
good.
campers are the worst.
Just ended that
Oh my
man's career.
God. I did. He didn't bother me the rest of the week. Hated that kid.
So I know Adventure Camp should have some fun stories. I think you would at least have one with a at least zip lining or climbing.
I got one for Zip.
Yeah.
This was on a camp weekend. I was helping out with a different event, and I was tasked with bringing over water bottles to the other side. And as I was getting closer, I had them in like the water bottle case, like
Mhm.
the little yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
they're
know
all
what you're
stuck
talking about.
together, and or like a Gatorade case. That's what I mean. When they're all stuck next to each other, and they had like the little
Like
Yeah.
it's a
circle thing that you're supposed
yeah.
to cut. Anyways, so I was getting close, like, oh, I got to spin myself around. So I used the heavy weight in my hand, which was all the water bottles and Gatorades that I was supposed to bring over, to spin myself around, and I chucked 5 of the Gatorades and 3 water bottles into water beneath me.
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
seeing that.
All I had
We were
left to
there.
bring over was like 2 water bottles, and I was like, they just looked at me. I'm like, oops, I didn't think that one through. And I was like,
We were
here's a water
laughing on
bottle
the
for
other side of the
you.
line.
Here's a water bottle for you. And I was like, oopsie.
Can you give the audience at home kind of a reference for how long the zip line is?
I think the zip line runs 100 feet. I think
It
that's
takes
how
like
long
10
we have
seconds
it.
to go across.
Takes like a good 10 or 15 seconds to get over there, and it's like I think at the highest point on the tower is 50 feet,
Yeah, it's
and then
50.
going across the lake, it's like 30 feet down. So yeah, we're not getting those Gatorade water bottles back because Mama Gator down there doesn't let us down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So yeah,
weekend,
they're
so many
gone.
kids were getting stuck.
Yeah, if like younger kids, if they're like really light, they'll just get stuck on the zip line. And what you have to do is that you either have to grab them by the hand or grab them by the ankle and just pull them back up to the
That
end.
Yeah.
is such a pain.
Yeah.
Hunter's the best at it. He
My
loves
arms,
it so much.
my hands on the end of the line when I was catching the kids, basically I have to catch them and slow them down. My hands were hurting because the kids wouldn't make it like halfway. I have to pull down the line to make it steeper for them to come across.
That's the best. That's why we sent you down there.
Yep.
That was my
And that's
first
why I was
time
working with
working it.
harnesses.
Zach was playing the long game. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, it was my third time doing that, so I was like, yeah, I know what to do.
No, those are all the
I
ones
mean,
I'm
it was
allowed
fun.
to say.
All right, so David, do you have anything to add to?
Well, I'm sure that Gator down there has had a nice, cool, refreshing beverage at the end of the day.
The Gator drink some
Oh, yeah.
Gatorade.
Absolutely.
Yes, it did.
Go Gators.
No.
God.
Austin, you have anything to add?
Just less
No, not
afternoons.
really.
All right, thank
Like
you, Justin.
usual.
Okay, thank you, Justin, for being on the show.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah, it's end of the show. How did you enjoy the experience of being on the Camp Staff podcast? Except
Yeah,
for the
I'd love to
beginning.
come back. I'd love to come back. I have plenty more stories. We didn't even get into
Yep.
anything for native.
We also have the After Hours podcast if you're interested. We can talk about that later. Thank you, Austin, for being on the show again for the seventh time being a consecutive
Six.
being the consecutive host on the
Yeah.
show.
And it's not consecutive because you missed an episode, remember?
Oh yeah, he did. He missed
Yeah, I
episode
did.
3.
I had
And
to.
thank you, David, for being
had a
my
good
host on
burger.
this, my other host on this show.
You're
And I'd
welcome,
like to
Zach.
thank all the listeners right now, or the people watching it on YouTube. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Have a great day.
Keep watching, guys.
You can end it now.
We should get Hunter.
Sorry,
on the
it cut
show.
out.